My mini talk is about when your self care might go against someone else's. So it's this process I've named. So this is how my human design is. I announce something that's going to happen to prepare folks, right? So my announcement is that I'm going to take July off. And then what happens is then I get all this data, right? And then I start to flip flop. Do I need 4 weeks? I can't really afford it, but do I need, maybe I can just do 2 weeks and maybe I can still see like all of this negotiation because my little ones, all of them, tune in to the other people and create these stories, these narratives that are not necessarily present external, but are present and active internal. So zooming out, when I'm sharing this, again, it's an invitation into you to understand what's happening in you when you might need to make a choice on what's best for me, if it might go against someone else, right? So then I think if I take a break, people are going to be mad, they're going to leave, they're not going to come back, whatever, right? These fears. And so this is not pressure to any of you to stay or go or whatever. But then, so like now my mind tracks of, oh, we have a few people missing that normally come and maybe they're having feelings. And so it's just, which is rich. If they are having feelings, it's rich. And I hope they come back and start talking about them, right? Because when we are disappointed with people in the present moment, if it's really intense, it's 10% present moment, 90% past. And you don't want to get stuck in the past. You want to discern what's this present moment and what's the past. And if it's still present, you want to regulate and disconnect from it or find the nourishment so you can let it go. Just don't get caught in the intensity of it in the present moment. What's interesting is, and I want to level set with you all, right? It's much easier to do this functional adulting in a group of people who get it. Okay? Because then you have a mirror, a reflection, affirmation, right? Even though we tell our littles, only look to us, we are social creatures, right? And that social connection also creates a sense of safety and belonging. Even though I say, and again, zooming out, I say this, but it's not like an edict, it's not a law. This is my sense, right? I'm just talking about my perspective. Each of you are supposed to run it through your own nervous system and figure out what lands and what doesn't. Okay. I'm not God. I'm not an oracle. I'm not anyone omniscient. Okay. I am just a human being, humaning on this planet that's on fire alongside each of you. Okay. So zooming back in, it's easier in a group because then you're also collecting the nervous system. So if one person looks regulated, like I can regulate easier, right? So I'm just saying, like, this is the value of the weekly groups that we have. It's like we already know that everyone's working on similar things internally. We're not worried about walking on eggshells for how we're going to show up for somebody else, right? Because the work is internal. The work is internal. Okay. So, what's interesting, and I want to see if this ever lands for you, is when you set a boundary, you might want to undo it. Oh, I said too much. Nah, I don't need that much. Or, yeah, you can have a second piece of cake. It doesn't really matter. I don't want to be controlling, like all these things, right? And it's not good or bad, it's just data of an opportunity to go, huh, that's interesting. Why am I walking it back? Oh, because I didn't want them to be mad at me. Oh, because I'm feeling so disconnected. I'm just doom scrolling and not honoring the limit that I told myself to be on, to not be on social media, those types of things. You just want to look for the data, right? Not for the proof. that you're bad or that the other person's bad. Okay? If you can, stay curious. And that might need some help, right? Someone questioning you, like, oh, that's interesting. So, what I've noticed is the moment I've said I'm going to be taking a break, my exhaustion is even more clear and scary to an extent, right? I don't want to, it's fine, but I'm saying this is why it's so hard for people to take a break. Because when you take a break, you actually see what's there. And sometimes it's easier to keep just running. So I want you to each look into, do I keep going on fumes because to stop and look and see what's happening is actually going to be more dysregulating? And you have to discern. If I have children in my care, you're a little bit more restricted, right? Because they do depend on you. If you have whatever responsibilities, right? So you have to look at those things and take them into consideration. What I'm trying to name here is if I ever say that this is easy, I don't think I say that. I just say it's the process is the same and it's continual because we still live in a society where it feels like and is in different ways unsafe. So don't minimize the external pressure that's on you, right? And don't take it as truth. My hope is that when I take this time off, I'm going to ramp down and really take off stuff that I've added to my load that I think I need to do that just drives me bananas. But that's going to take courage because anytime you take something out, things might fall apart. And if that's scary, it makes sense. Okay? If you're terrified, it makes sense. But you're not going to know until you move it. What I do know is this way that I'm working, even though it's better, the way that I was working it, even though it's better, I still need to keep moving it because it's still, I just want to look at the whole bigger picture of this society is so many layers, right? So you remove one, but that's not it. You just keep wanting to go down and down until you get to the core. So I am doing it in real time, and I wanted to share those feelings. Again, not for any of you to worry about me or any of you to not ask for what you need, or it's just to normalize this process. And I hope that's helpful. And if it's activating, let's talk about it in the group. That is the end of my mini talk. Everyone take a sip.